Source of blessing, your splendor reveals the way to holiness. Your light wraps us in the beauty of this sacred day. Good evening, Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to our Kol Nidrei service, the beginning of Yom Kippur, our Day of Atonement. I'm Rabbi Jillian Cameron. I use the pronouns she and her. And I am again grateful to be joined this evening by Cantor Rebecca Mirsky, our beloved rabbinic intern, new rabbinic intern, very exciting, Ian Perry, our beautiful and soulful choir. Thank you all so much for being here. Our beloved accompanist, Janelle Lamance, and our cellist who joins us this evening, Madeline Sarkeesian. Thank you all for being here. I'm so grateful we can share this sacred day together. And thank you all for being here, for joining with us, creating community. It also happens to not just be Shabbat, and also the beginning of Yom Kippur, but October 11th is National Coming Out Day. What a blessing to be able to celebrate and observe all of these holy days together. And here we are again in this beautiful space in Temple Akiba, grateful to be back to continue to strengthen our relationship with all those in our community, to be able to fit everyone who joins us on these holy days. Though we may not be in our house of new life, the heart of our community beats strong here, wherever we are and we come together. And so tonight I ask for your presence in this sacred space, to be with us fully. And so, please take a moment to turn off your cell phones and put them away. Let us be together, truly together, without distraction in this sacred moment. As we always do when we come together to pray, Let us also take a moment to look around and see who's beside us and around us. If someone looks unfamiliar, introduce yourself, offer a Shana Tova, a Shabbat Shalom. There are a myriad of greetings on this day. And of course, we welcome all of you who are at home as well. Please feel free to use the chat at home to say hi to one another. If you are new to our community, visiting us for the first time, we offer a special welcome. And there's a welcome form out in the lobby if you'd like to fill it out and let us know who you are. There'll also be one posted in the chat. We will be using Mishkan HaNefesh as our machzor today and tomorrow, our High Holy Day prayer book. It is the really thick silver one. If you have the gold one, you're a week and a half too late. Or early, I like that. Oof, super prepared. Feel free to peruse this prayer book. It has so many beautiful offerings, poetry, and notes on the bottom and all around. It's okay if you get lost looking around. We'll offer page numbers as we go so you can always catch up to where we are. You can also, of course, feel free to use the words of your heart, the words you need to hear. Let them reverberate in your head, in your heart, in your soul on this day. However you choose to worship with us, I'm so grateful for all of your presence, for what you add to our sacred community on this holy day. Our service this evening is called Kol Nidrei, all our vows. The words and melody hold sacred power for all who gather this night. We are connected with these words through time and space to generations of Israel in all its many forms. And those of us gathered tonight, shelter and lifted up by this sacred community, we also hear these words and carry with us past memories of vows come and gone, promises kept and broken. Let our vows in this new year of 5785 guide our lives. Let us make vows with steely determination to make a difference in this holiday of solitude, of inward reckoning. Let us not only dream of a tomorrow of possibility, let us vow to make it happen. And we begin this special night of Shabbat and Yom Kippur by lighting our candles. It is my honor to invite up the members of our L'chaim Legacy Circle. So if you are a member of the L'chaim Legacy Circle, please arise. The L'chaim Legacy Circle is made up of our BCC members who have left a bequest for BCC, either in a will or a trust. By making this gift, all of you have created a personal legacy of love and caring for the health and well-being and the future of BCC. Your legacy, your gift, is a profound declaration of the values you hold dear. We are so grateful for all of you who will help BCC long into the future with your generosity and your love. We continue with the blessing of thanksgiving, of gratitude for being in this space and this time together. Shehechianu on page 9. On page 16, Or Zaruach Latzadik, light is sown for the righteous, radiance and joy for the pure of heart. We are all keenly aware of whose footsteps we all walk in. Those BCC members are thoughtful and committed leaders, the former presidents of BCC, who have given of themselves throughout our 52-year history, which has led us all to this moment. It is my honor and my pleasure to invite our past presidents who are here in person tonight up to the bima. I know there are several of you joining remotely, those of you who live in different places. We are grateful for all of your many presents, your many contributions to our beloved community. You have modeled for us resilience, care, strong leadership skills, and we have needed it to navigate the joys and the challenges of community life. With us here tonight, Lauren Schlau, Bruce Maxwell, Jay Jacobs, Brett Truman, and Les Zendel. Please join me. We offer our deep gratitude and honor our past leaders who are unable to be with us tonight, some scattered around the country, still here in our country. And we remember fondly and with love those past presidents who are no longer with us. For each past president who no longer walks this earth with us, we place a talit, one after another, on this empty chair in front of the bima, and continue our tradition of honoring those leaders who made us who we are, whose memories live on forever in the steady heartbeat of our community. We think about them tonight as our holiest day begins, remembering their unique gifts and spirit with which they led our community. We are buoyed by the love they felt for us and the many blessings they have left with us. For those here who have been at BCC for many years and remember these beloved presidents, take a moment, think back to a memory that makes you smile, a moment in time, a leadership experience, an example for us all. As we place these talitot, these reminders of who we are on this empty chair, let us think fondly and remember with love. Sherry Sokolov. Stu Zinn. Milt Janowski. Arnie Pincus. Ben Howard. Louis Hirsch. Fred Schuldiner. Aviva Kamens. Ralph Stevens. Marie-Jean Lambert. Their blessings were great, and their memories bless us each and every day. May they continue to inspire our leaders now and into the future. Let us take a deep breath in this moment of great memory, of gratitude, and we look toward our future, lifted up by the leaders in front of us and the leaders that we remember. I'd like to invite our presidents to the bima now. As we listen to first the melodies and then the words of Kol Nidrei in just a moment, allow this beautiful, haunting melody to help you transcend this time and this place. Allow it to bring you to moments of past, our communal past, our personal moments of past. Our beloved presidents will offer this gift of Torah in those quiet spaces between each of the 3 times we experience this melody, these words. Let us imbue this ritual moment with our own meaning and allow it to take us to a place of natural rhythms, the crashing of waves, the changing of light, the solitude and the peace of our world, and open our hearts to the yearnings and the promise and the potential of the year ahead. Please rise if you're able. Preview. Page. We continue with the English on page 20.
All shall be forgiven, the entire community of Israel, and the stranger who lives in their midst, for all have gone astray in error. Moses prayed to God, as you have been faithful to this people ever since Egypt, please forgive their failings now in keeping with your boundless love.
Vayomer Adonai, salachti kidvarecha. Vayomer Adonai, salachti kidvarecha. Vayomer
God responded, I forgive as you have asked. We continue on page 22. Chant your supplications to God in a melody that makes the heart weep, and your praises of God in one that will make it sing. Thus you will be filled with love and joy for the one who sees the heart. Please rise as you are able for the Barhu. Please be seated. We continue on page 25. Day and night are yours, creative spirit of the universe. The muted colors of twilight, the radiance of dawn, yours are the spreading wings of light, the deepening shadows of darkness, and ever-changing drama. In the human heart, too, the struggle between darkness and light unfolds. From sunlit heights of generosity, the human heart sinks to the gloomy depths of selfishness. Although we fall, you give us the strength to rise again. You call on those who hurt through word or deed to break free from wrongdoing and return to you. All who hear your call to goodness are embraced. All who reject emptiness and evil find acceptance from you. We come into your presence this night of Kol Nidrei, aware that our shortcomings and weaknesses are many, yet encouraged by your promise of forgiveness, we choose freely the path of repentance, restoring wholeness to our lives and holiness to this world.
El Chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Hamariv ha'arabim. Olam Beit Yisrael Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu lemadeta. Avad olam Beit Yisrael, Amecha ahaveta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu lemadeta. Alegin Adonai Eloheinu b'shofteinu u'b'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha
We continue on page 28, and we rise, if we're able, for the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אדוני אלוהיכם.
Page 39. Our sages taught, it is proper to mention the exodus from Egypt in our morning prayers and also at night. We celebrate the going out from Egypt in the morning light, full of confidence and vigor as we enter the new day. But in the evening, weary from a day's exertions, cast down and fearful at the coming of the night, what can the Exodus teach us then? Our nighttime prayer brings hope and trust in the future, as God did not abandon our people long ago through the long, dark night of exile, and so the Holy One will be with us in time to come. To stand by the one you love, that is the true essence of faithfulness, the meaning of emunah. So it is written in the Psalms, to proclaim your kindness in the morning and your faithfulness in the nights. Sing with joys in the mornings of your life, when light surrounds you and the world seems beautiful and good, and in the evenings of your life, when you dwell in sorrow and the world seems dark. Do not despair. Page 40, Mi Chamocha.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נטע בקודש, נורות תהילות עושה מלכותך
We continue on page 43 with one of our favorites as a community, a poem that we love at BCC that's in our own prayer book, that also in our High Holy Day prayer book, The Peace of Wild Things. Please read along with me. Page 43. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go down and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things, who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water and feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. We are so blessed by the voices of our choir. And we are celebrating Shabbat, and so we sing with joy Vishamru on page 44.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael
few months ago, I was walking my dog, Yasha, in my neighborhood. We have a few regular walks through the wilds of South Beverly Hills. This particular fairly straightforward walk literally is a grid of 8 or so short blocks by 3 longer blocks, and we choose some variation each day. Each small intersection is punctuated by a 4-way stop sign. I am always very careful when I cross these small streets because so many drivers are not careful and routinely do not fully stop or even stop at all. I must confess, today is the Day of Atonement after all, that I have become one of those pedestrians that yell at cars who don't follow basic traffic laws. On this particular afternoon, Yasha and I were crossing the street carefully as usual. I looked to my right, there wasn't a car in sight. I looked then left, and I saw a car approaching and slowed down as they saw me, as well as the stop sign. I breathed a small sigh of relief and proceeded to cross the street with Yasha a few feet in front of me. I even smiled in gratitude at the driver of the car, just inches to my left as I walked by. Then out of the corner of my eye, I spotted another car approaching from the left. I thought little of it, assuming that car would stop behind the already stopped car, but it didn't. That car didn't even slow down. It swooped around the car, stopped at the stop sign, meaning to pass it. Had Yasha and I just been a breath faster in crossing the street, just a few inches past the stopped car, I'm fairly certain I would not be standing here today. I'm not even sure that driver saw us at all because they proceeded to screech down the remaining blocks as if no stop signs or pedestrians existed. Even retelling the story, I can feel my heartbeat pick up. It was terrifying, but not at all uncommon. I'm sure many of us have similar stories and how very Los Angeles to chat about crazy drivers and traffic. Perhaps we also have our own traffic-related sins for which to atone. But I have noticed more, a drastic increase, more examples of callous behavior, of dangerously selfish behavior, a complete disregard for anyone or anything else in the world. Certainly when walking and driving in our fair city, but also in other public spaces, sometimes in sacred spaces. Why are we in such a rush? How did we lose our common courtesy, our sense of dignity, a common expectation of how we treat one another? When did we get mean? It's an alarming trend that isn't just relegated to Los Angeles traffic, but rather a trend, a change I see in a culture, our society, in this country and beyond. It lurks in our impatience, our ease to anger, our mistrust and distrust, our selfishness and disrespect. It skulks in tweets and posts of the worst of our elected officials and former officials, in the open hostility and disdain between individuals and groups who disagree. Civil discourse seems but a memory. It's not just on social media, though we like to pretend it is, but it has also seeped into casual interactions, the way we drive, behave at airports, at meetings, with people we like and those we don't, and people we don't even know or have never met. It is no longer relegated to a particular time and place or even subject matter, a purposeful debate or exchange of ideas, but rather has invaded every moment, spills over, a stain of disgust and animosity and suspicion. It steals our joy. It erodes our connections with one another. It diminishes our capacity to nurture our spiritual lives and find time to rest or rejuvenate, to feel peace and calm, to breathe deep and mean it. Al chet shechatanu lefanecha, for the sins we have committed before you. And sin begets sin, as violence begets violence, and anger begets anger, intolerance, and fear begets fear. And none of us are above this influence because we are scared too. Scared of being Jews in America, scared of being queer Jews in America, scared of what America might become in a few short weeks. We don't live in a world where things feel certain and safe in the same way. In some ways, this happened very quickly, but mostly it's been imperceptible amidst the rhythm of life. It takes a big splashy event or a high holy day to offer us the opportunity to see how the election of 2016 and its consequences broke something and unleashed the worst in us. And we survived those 4 years and then broke even more, enveloped by the death and confusion and misinformation of a global pandemic. And this brokenness remains, a wide and gaping tear in the fabric of our communities. The cultural, societal values we fought for and prayed for and willed into being now have more worn edges, rips, and holes, and we all feel the consequences. I am worried, very worried. We have a problem, and we didn't start it, and we may not see it, but it's our problem. We're not responsible for fixing it all, but we cannot ignore it any longer. We cannot pretend we don't have a responsibility to try. We stand on the precipice of this year ahead, weeks away from this election, anxious, cautiously hopeful, having done our best just to make it here. And when we find ourselves in times of trouble, we often look to our own most basic beliefs. The original tenets offered early in our relationship with God, simple yet powerful in their certainty. In the very first chapter of Genesis, verse 27, we read, "And God created humans in God's own image. In the image of God, we were created. B'Tselem Elohim, we are made in the image of God." This tenet defines how we treat each other, how we treat ourselves. If all of us are made up in the image of God, reflections of the divine, then we are responsible to live up to that image. It's how we aspire to move through the world. But it can also be how we begin to repair the brokenness we see and have sometimes created. We are B'Tselem Elohim, but what does that mean? Not that we are God, the center, infallible and all-powerful, but rather that we are responsible to aspire to something greater than we are in our interactions and in our choices. When we discover more about God, we discover more about ourselves. We find our place in the universe, our purpose. We uncover opportunities to grow our capacity to love, to offer respect to others and ourselves, to be examples of goodness and justice, and then perhaps, bit by bit, shift the culture around us. The rhythm of our holy season is punctuated at times by these words, originally from the book of Exodus. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, Erech Apayim v'Rav Chesed v'Emet, Notzer Chesed la'alafim, Nosei Avon v'Afesha, v'Chata'a v'Nakeh. Adonai, Adonai, God, compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, abundant in kindness and truth, extending kindness to the 1,000th generation, forgiving iniquity, forgiving transgression, forgiving those who choose to sin, granting it when we ask forgiveness. We call them the 13 attributes of God, one of the thousands of ways we attempt to understand the divine. We were created in the image of God in Genesis, and then in Exodus offered a 13-point rubric. Adonai, You who are merciful and seek our best. Adonai, you who are merciful when we are at our worst. El, a God of all, the most generic and the most complex, beyond comprehension, yet close to us in our hearts. Rachum, full of compassion, of love and sympathy for our humanness. V'chanun, abundant in kindness, showing mercy and forgiveness to the afflicted and the oppressed, to those who are unable to show it to themselves. Erech apayim, slow to anger, even when provoked, even when it's difficult, offering the time needed to reflect and repent and improve. V'rav chesed, abundant in kindness, offering blessings and gifts to all, creating opportunities for justice and for righteousness. Be'emet, truth and honesty do you offer, do you prize, do you expect? Notzer chesed la'alafim, extending of kindness for thousands of generations, remembering our goodness, our holiness, championing the merits of previous generations for the benefit of the next. Nosei avon, forgiver of iniquity, understanding of our humanness and unintentional wrong choices. Bafesha, forgiver of our willful choices, our worst intentions, the morality we forget. V'chata'a, forgiver of our carelessness, our thoughtlessness, our apathy. V'nakeh, you who are gracious, who offer forgiveness and mercy to those who ask, to those who change, to those who try. This is the God in whose image we were created. And if we are made in the image of God, then we have the capacity to embody these characteristics throughout our lives. In day-to-day interactions, when we make big decisions, when we react to things around us that are out of our control, we have the capacity. But what gets in our way? Perhaps the way we have been conditioned by our families, by our traumas, by our experiences, our society and our culture, our disappointments, our own limits, broken trust in others and ourselves, and this dingy veil of bad behavior that hangs over us all, an invisible societal hand pushing us towards the worst versions of ourselves, and sometimes we can't even feel it. I don't know what made that driver decide that roaring around the car stopped at a stop sign with no thought of why was the best choice. But I don't think it's as easy as just writing them off as a bad person. Maybe, but I'm not convinced that the bad seed mentality is helpful on our journey to course correct our societal woes, to healing the brokenness that we see behind so many bad choices and heartbreaking consequences. None of us are immune to this devolution of our cultural norms. One of the best and worst things about us as humans is our adaptability. We have survived for thousands of years because we adapt so smoothly, but it also means we get used to just about anything. We justify, we acquiesce, we normalize. It is as much a part of us as our ability to emulate the divine. The power we have to change begins with ourselves. I recognize it's a tall order to attempt to emulate all 13 attributes of God. So perhaps we each just choose one, the one that speaks to us, that calls us on this Yom Kippur, the one we find to be most lacking around us, the one we have failed to achieve this past year. Let us prize truth and compassion. Let us find 3 different ways to forgive one another. Let us value intention and good choices over mistakes and human shortcomings. Let us be abundantly kind to those around us in easy moments and the most difficult. Let us lead with respect, expect respect, and offer respect in all of our interactions. Let us buck the trend, not give in to what we see around us, not give in to the way others treat us, not give in to our own anger and fear. And when we fail, let us forgive ourselves and try again. Let this be the year where we put our values into action in new ways, where we aspire to truly be B'Tselem Elohim, made in the image, in our own actions as well as we see others. Let this be how we try to right our cultural ship, to cleanse ourselves of the spiritual and moral deterioration that plagues our society. I don't want to live in a world that prizes emotion over truth, where my needs are more important than everyone else's, where winning for the sake of power is lauded and expected, where we justify endangering another's life to get somewhere 3 seconds faster. I can't live there anymore. I don't think any of us can. And it's certainly not the world and the choices and the behavior that we want to be our legacy. When we forget the essence of our soul, everything becomes confused and in doubt. The primary teshuvah, that which we immediately lights the darkness, is when a person returns to themselves, to the root of their soul. Then they will immediately return to God, the soul of all souls, taught Rav Kook, 19th century Jewish thought leader. Let us raise our level of spirituality, one moment, one choice at a time, so we have what we need, we feel honored and can offer honor to others. We can value and validate our own gifts and existence and return to the root of it all, to something greater than we are, to the keeper of souls. When we know ourselves, respect ourselves, understand our worth, we can offer that to others freely and with joy. Take one moment now with me and close your eyes. Dream about that world built on the notion that we aren't just made in the image of God, but we act like we're made in the image of God, and we live like we're made in the image of God. This is a quiet revolution that begins in the solitude of the Day of Atonement, when we are so close to heaven, in the midst of transformation, with a single choice to live up to a promise, to try a little each day, amidst the noise and the fear. It's not so far away, it's already in our hearts and our souls, in the fiber of our very being, the makeup of our humanity, the spark of divine that lives inside each of us. Because humans are in the image of God, they are endowed by their Creator with 3 intrinsic dignities, says Rabbi Irving Greenberg: infinite value, equality, and uniqueness. It's time to embrace all that we are. It's time to change the world. Shabbat Shalom, and may we all be sealed in the book of life. Rabbi Naomi Levy offers, "Open my eyes, God. Help me to perceive what I have ignored, to uncover what I have forgotten, to find what I have been searching for. Remind me that I don't have a journey far to discover something new, for miracles surround me, blessings and holiness abound, and you are near." We continue with the Amidah, the central prayer And we rise together if we're able. On page 46, we will begin together and continue quietly using the prayers in the book or the prayers of our hearts. Page 46. God says, my hand reaches out to the penitent. I reject none who give me their hearts. Though you be far from me, I will draw near and heal you if you come toward me. We now draw near to God with our vidui, our confession, a collective expression of our capacity to acknowledge our shortcomings, to turn back to the covenant, and to repair the world. Our God and God of all generations, may our prayers reach your presence. And when we turn to you, do not be indifferent. Adonai, we are arrogant and stubborn, claiming to be blameless and free of sin. In truth, we have stumbled, we have strayed, we have done wrong. When I was young and learned the alphabet, life was open to me. A was full of aspiration, B was for beauty, C for confidence, D for dreams, and so on through the list. No fewer than 26 opportunities, 26 possibilities. And yet I fear that with the passage of time, I've squandered them, creating instead A's of apathy, B's of brusqueness, C's of coarseness. Help me then to return to that innocence and let the letters be letters once again. Let them rise to the heavens and form into the words that you know I wish to say. Please rise, if you're able, on page 82. Together, of these wrongs we are guilty. We betray, we steal, we scorn, we act perversely, we are cruel, we scheme, we are violent, we slander, we devise evil, We lie, we ridicule, we disobey, we abuse, we defy, we corrupt, we commit crimes, we are hostile, we are stubborn, we are immoral, we kill, we spoil, we go astray, we lead others astray. We continue with our confession, our vidui, on page 86. Sin is not to be forgotten, blotted out, or cast into the depths of the sea. On the contrary, sin has to be remembered. It is the memory of sin that releases the power within the inner depths of the soul of the penitent to do greater things than ever before. The energy of sin can be used to bring one to new heights. Repentance turns our vices into virtue. Together, the ways we have wronged you deliberately and by mistake, and harm we have caused in your world through the words of our mouths. The ways we have wronged you by hardening our hearts, and harm we have caused in your world through careless speech. The ways we have wronged you through lies and deceit, and harm we have caused in your world through gossip and rumor. The ways we have wronged you by judging others unfairly, and the harm we have caused in your world through disrespect to parents and teachers. The ways we have wronged you through insincere apologies, and harm we have caused in your world by mistreating a friend or neighbor. The ways we have wronged you through violence and abuse, and harm we have caused in your world through dishonesty and business. For all of these failures of judgment and will, God of forgiveness, forgive us, pardon us, lead us to atonement.
Together on page 88. The ways we have wronged you openly and secretly, the harm we have caused in your world by losing self-control. The ways we have wronged you through sexual immorality and harm we have caused in your world through consumption of food and drink. The ways we have wronged you by giving in to our hostile impulses and harm we have caused in your world through greed and exploitation.
בלצון, ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך, בנטיית גרון.
The ways we have wronged you through cynicism and scorn, and harm we have caused in your world through arrogant behavior.
על חטא שחטאנו לפניך בשנאה חינם, ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך בטומאת חטאים.
Page 90. The ways we have wronged you by hating without cause, and harm we have caused in your world through offensive speech.
על חטא שחטאנו לפניך בלשון הרע, ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך בצרות עין.
The ways we have wronged you with a slanderous tongue, and harm we have caused in your world through a selfish or petty spirit. For all these failures of judgment and will, God of forgiveness, forgive us, pardon us, lead us to atonement.
Please be seated. Adonai, our God, we are humble on this most holy of days. We come before you, before each other, and before ourselves, ready to confess, to plead for forgiveness, ready to atone. We ask that you hear our voices, heed our prayers, and give us the strength to turn toward you. As we stand here in the balance between life and death, help us grow, help us forgive, help us choose life. Adonai, Shema Kolenu, hear our voices. Page 98.
Shema
We continue on page 100. God of forgiveness, we come before you in need of compassion. At Sinai, you spoke words that guide our lives to this day, but our ancestors lost faith in you, lost hope in their Redeemer. With one voice, they had promised, we will do and obey, and yet, stiff-necked, they broke their word, adoring an idol of gold. How wondrous your compassion in the face of their rebellion, your forgiveness in that moment of human weakness and doubt. We too have broken promises to you. We too worship the work of our own hands. We too make of gold a god, and we too forsake your word. At Sinai, you revealed 13 attributes of mercy. These aspects of your nature, your very essence, we now recall.
Adonai, Adonai, Erachum v'chanon, Erech apayim v'rav chesed be'emet, Notzer chesed lalachim, Nosei avon v'afesha, v'chata'a v'nakeh.
Adonai, Adonai, God compassionate, gracious, endlessly patient, loving and true, showing mercy to the 1000th generation, forgiving evil, defiance, and wrongdoing, granting pardon.
Avinu Malkeinu, our parents, our sovereign, listen to what we can't say out loud. Listen to our hearts. Heed our most inner needs. Guide us through this holy of days with patience and understanding, knowing that we try each day to speak in honesty and do justice. Page 112. We read together, Avinu Malkeinu, how shall we find the strength to take the road less traveled by? Avinu Malkeinu, how shall we come to know the purpose of our existence? Avinu Malkeinu, how shall we learn not to live life in vain? Avinu Malkeinu, how shall we get out of our indifference? Avinu Malkeinu, how shall we distinguish between truth and falsehood? Avinu Malkeinu, how shall we find the answers to our questions? Avinu Malkeinu, how shall we gird ourselves with strength to seek answers? Avinu Malkeinu, be gracious to us, answer us, empower us, give us courage, for the answers are both in you and with you. Please rise if you're able. Please be seated. Our High Holy Days offer us the opportunity to account for ourselves, to see ourselves clearly, not just on our own or part of our families, but all the ways we are connected to one another, the ways we need each other, our chosen Beth Chaim Charashim family. As always, we continue to be grateful to so many of you who share your time and wisdom and resources with our community. Your continued support and generosity is critical. Last year, we were blessed with the beautiful story of two of our longtime members, Carol and Bonnie, who offered us their journey and the journey of their family in connection to BCC. We are grateful for those of you who have been weaving the strands of our beloved community for decades. It is because of you that we are here in this moment and able to welcome in the next generation of dedicated BCC members. We stand on so many shoulders. This year, we have the privilege of hearing from two of our newest members and how they made their way to our beloved community and why BCC has become such an important part of their lives. I hope their stories will inspire you to continue to invest in our community with your time and your resources so we can continue to be that beacon for those who built BCC and those who will continue your work long into our future. It is my honor to invite Natalie Owen and Miriam Stryker-Hurt up to the bima. Let us be inspired towards generosity so we can ensure the future of BCC as a safe and vibrant, diverse LGBTQIA+ Jewish space for all. She's gonna start, okay.
Hello. Shabbat Shalom. My name is Miriam, and I am a very recent and very proud member of BCC. A lot of times in Judaism, we talk about holy time. Shabbat, Rosh Chodesh, the beginning of the month, holidays. With good reason, Rabbinic Judaism places emphasis on the moments and times that are holy, special, and meaningful. But tonight, I want to talk about holy space instead. I know, not very Rabbinic Judaism of me, but over the last year, I felt the power of having a space, physical and virtual, to be in community and to participate in something larger than myself. Growing up in San Francisco, I went to shul regularly up until my bat mitzvah, after which I attended only on high holidays. Classic. But as an adult and on my own in Los Angeles, I began searching for a community that shared my values, my background, my identities. I joined soccer teams. I joined queer soccer teams. I thought about joining a queer-run club. I got in really good shape. But that wasn't really what I needed. I first heard of BCC through my roommate. She forwarded me a short video about our neighborhood, included BCC, and she said, "Wow, I didn't know there was an LGBTQ synagogue." And I said, "Me neither." I watched the video, but I didn't go, daunted by the idea of showing up to a new space with new customs and new people. I got a second chance a few months later. My mom came to visit me in June on what happened to be the weekend of West Hollywood Pride. She was looking for things for us to do, and she got really excited to find out that there was a synagogue marching in the parade. And she was so excited, and I was so glad to have someone to go with for the first time, that I agreed to sign up with her to march with Beth Chaim Hadashim. There is something uniquely comforting and powerful about being able to show up and be embraced fully, with every facet of your identity. Seeing people along Santa Monica Boulevard cheer for my Judaism and my queerness was a first for me, and I was surprised at how strongly it moved me. A few months after WeHo Pride, I saw that Beth Chaim Hadashim was holding high holiday services, and I signed up right away. 1 year ago, almost to the day, I got in the food line after Rosh Hashanah services right here in this synagogue, and I struck up a conversation with the people next to me, some of whom are now my closest and most Jewish friends. And over the past year, I've gone to Friday night services and Saturday morning services. I got to take a leaf cutter to the parking lot hedge, which was really fun, highly recommend. I attended a B'nai Mitzvah. I joined a choir for the first time in my life. Shout out to the choir. And I watched The Prince of Egypt on a blow-up screen in the BCC parking lot with several of the attendees looking at you, Rabbi Julian, singing along. I also got to attend the first in a series of meetings about the visioning process of BCC and what our future might look like. And I'm here to tell you the future is bright. I know that this congregation means something different to everyone here tonight, and I am grateful for the opportunity to share what BCC means to me. I can't wait to be a part of that bright future with all of you. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Natalie, and I'm so proud to call BCC my home and my family. 9 years ago, I moved to Los Angeles from Alabama to continue my gender transition in a place with civil rights, and I didn't expect that one to be a laugh line, but there it is. And I just thought I could have a better life here, and I lost everything from that decision, including most of my family, except my mom, who took a little while to come around herself. And despite moving here with my ex and some friends, I ended up alone and flirting with homelessness in only 9 months. But praise God, like right at that same moment, I met Kayla, my partner, and she became my domestic partner, and she also didn't have a family. For the next 7 years, we navigated this beautiful but brutal city absolutely alone. The only people we knew were from my work, which led me to being very mistreated there, and eventually developing PTSD. And we were in our 20s when we first met, but we felt more like teenage runaways, missing so many important pieces. We needed to grow up and find ourselves. And we came out many, many years ago. And I think so much has changed over the past decade since I came out, 13 years before since I came out. And at that time, there was a statistic going around, and I don't know if it was actually true or not, but it was very common to hear that the life expectancy of a young trans woman without a degree was 28. And whether that was true or not, we both witnessed evidence towards that. So we were very surprised to turn 30. And we had to reckon with building an adulthood for ourselves, and we had no framework or vision for. We didn't know where or how we fit into the city, and we just felt like outsiders everywhere we went. We felt like we could never really have a community or a home. We actually attended an LGBT-friendly Methodist church for a couple of years. They're good people doing important work. I don't want to say anything bad about them, but they weren't and couldn't be our family. In the 2 years we volunteered there, we never became close to anyone. No one even ever offered us to drive us home, and we were just as alone as ever. But in 2022, Kayla started attending Cal State Northridge and was adopted by the tiny Jewish sorority there, which is the only sorority that allowed trans girls in explicitly. After months with them going to Hillel and Chabad, she decided to convert and started attending BCC. This was hard for me at first, as I couldn't see myself in it, and I felt like I was being left behind. But I started watching services with her, and we had many long talks, and one day, just like getting hit by a truck, I understood. Jews were a people with the same shaped hole in their hearts as we had. They had a religion based around exile and resilience. They were a nation that took in the lost. Judaism wasn't just a religion, it was home. My first visit in person to BCC, the then vice president, Nicolasa, drove us home and started taking us with her every time she went. At Pesach, my first one, we came with her to help set up and didn't sign up for this, but ended up cooking her matzo ball soup recipe for everyone. Which I now make regularly with my own twist, perfecting it. She was there with us at all of our first holidays, building new formative memories that will stick with me and shape my life. Rabbi Cameron, as well, has been a constant support, shepherding us through our conversions, listening to us sob, helping us find our way in the world. Nicholas and the rabbi and all these other precious queer elders here are absolutely miracles in our lives, showing us a future we could have never imagined. When I was approaching the end of my conversion, I asked Nicolasa and her wife Diane if I could take their names, their Hebrew names, as my parents in my Hebrew name. So now I am very proudly Natalia Daniela Bat Gaviela Vadina in Hebrew. In my phone, I have my birth mom as Mama and Nicolasa as Ima. Nicolasa and Diane have been married longer than anyone I ever knew, which is pretty amazing. And they have been a part of BCC's community longer than any community that I've ever been in has ever even existed. And I no longer feel like I'm from nowhere because I have a family that's been here for decades. I have continuity and history and traditions. And Jewish acceptance of LGBT and especially trans people is an inverse of every other major religion. It's like 80% of Jews are supportive of trans rights, and with every other major religion, it's like 20%. And I credit BCC so much for that, how it created a space for us, pioneered a space here, not just in the specific community, but in the Jewish world at large. I meet sometimes like Israeli Uber drivers and stuff like that around the high holidays last year. I met someone who has been living here in Los Angeles for 30 years, and he did not know that there were LGBT Jews. He didn't know that a place like this could have even existed. He didn't have a framework for understanding, and he, had left Israel and just kind of didn't go anywhere. And so this is a historical and hugely impactful congregation that is still doing so much to transform lives and build space, and to make new Jews at a very high rate. Right? I have to imagine that Rabbi Cameron has done more conversions than just about anybody. And this is a congregation that does miracles. It absolutely did for me and Kayla. So I ask you now to help us keep the doors open for future generations and join us in the creation of those miracles by opening your pockets deep and financially supporting this incredible work, however you're able. It's been so exciting to be part of such a historic synagogue. And it's just, like I said, it's been so cool to be able to connect with elders, who we never thought we would have, and hearing stories from the 60s, 70s, 80s, just on and on, and people going through things that like we went through.
Yeah, this is a great home for young queer people today looking for a home to integrate their LGBTQ and Jewish identities. I'm not sure if this is on. I'm so glad to see a wide spread of generations, and I look forward to welcoming in even more folks of my generation.
BCC has such a unique gift to offer the world, the chance to find a chosen family. It's not always easy being a queer Jew. Sometimes we aren't always embraced by our families of origin as queer people, and sometimes we're not always embraced as Jews by the world at large. And so I'm so grateful to be a part of this community because I found family here. And I hope to someday be able to be that family for someone else who comes here looking for refuge like I did.
We know it takes a lot of resources to maintain a synagogue, especially a special place like BCC. It's so much more than just keeping the lights on and the coffee pot full. It takes resources to pay these wonderful musicians, to support programs and events, and to maintain our awesome staff. Shout out to Maggie Boyles and Tim Goad. Who are able to put all of their love and care into BCC for all of us. And of course, our Rabbi Jillian Cameron, and our guest clergy, Cantor Rebecca Mirsky, and our song leaders and cantorial soloists who offer their gifts throughout the year.
It's no secret that BCC is undergoing an important transformation right now as we envision our future and begin to pass the torch on to the new generation. BCC has been here for 52 years and counting, and I hope and pray that it will be here for another 50 and more. But we can't do it alone. We need your support to help us get there so that we can accept that torch.
And that's why we're up here today to ask you all to give generously. not just for today and not just for this year, but for the years and generations to come. One of our Jewish values is Lador Vador, the responsibility of passing on traditions, values, and teachings to future generations. We are grateful for all the wisdom and legacy you're passing on to us, but we also need you to pass along your funds as well.
Please, please, please consider making a donation of any amount. Every bit counts and helps, and we are so grateful for your investment in our beloved BCC. Let's grow together, each and every one of us, into the future and ensure the legacy we leave is an investment in the future of our entire community.
Now some logistics. There are pledge cards available and folks who are walking around right now collecting them. You can split your contribution up between 2 or 4 or 12 payments online or on the pledge card. So for example, $540 over 12 months would be $45 a month, for example. You can also bring your cards outside into the lobby after the service, and if you'd rather, you can also make a donation when you get home on our website or after Yom Kippur has finished, tomorrow evening and beyond. We are so grateful to be members of this historic and important place. We can't wait to see what we can continue to build and grow together. Thank you all, Shana Tova and Gmar Chatima Tova.
We have a bright future indeed. So grateful to you, Miriam, and to Natalie, and my heart is full with all that we can still accomplish, all that we have done. Let's take a moment, fill out those pledge cards, hand them to a friend walking around, and thank you so much for your investment in our community. When you are done, we will continue together on page 116. Please rise for the Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'teit gedula li'otzer b'reshit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu kimishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, velo aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim u'mishachavimu odim lifnei melech malchei hamlavim
Please be seated. This holy night concludes with memory. Our last thoughts always are of those we have lost. We miss them, especially tonight, yearning for their presence by our side. Our service we have shared once was theirs. They spoke and sang the ancient words. They prayed, repented, and yearned for better lives as we have. Flawed in their deeds, imperfect in their faith, they still drew strength from their tradition as we seek fortitude in ours. What was good and beautiful in their lives once gave us joy and now inspires us to reach higher. Their knowledge that they loved us deeply brings comfort to our hearts. And so we think of all we miss in this moment. Their memories are blessings, and we pray that their goodness will live on in us forever. At BCC, we recite Kaddish for the 6 million and all victims of the Shoah. Gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and queer Jews throughout history who have asked to say Kaddish for them. People of all ages who died from AIDS, people who have died of unsafe and illegal abortions, people who have died in acts of violence and terrorism and war and natural disaster, people who have died from COVID-19, all those who have been killed in Israel and in Gaza and Lebanon, across the region during these now year of war. If you are in the week of Shiva, the first week of mourning, or in the period of Shloshim, the first month of mourning, or in the first year of mourning, if you'd like to offer the name of your loved one aloud, please do so. And at home, you can offer their name in the chat. And if you're remembering a loved one on the anniversary of their death, their yahrzeit, again, please say their name aloud, and at home, write their name in the chat. On this Shabbat and Shabbat of all Shabbats, we remember our members: Bonnie Leopold, Vaughn Rachel, Rabbi Sanford Reagans, Martin Krieger, Karen Wilson, and the loved ones of our members: Renilda Badel, Rabbi Amy Gerase, David Katz, Moshik Golani, Oscar Omar Betancourt, Nancy Jeanette, Dennis Boyles, Sheila Wallace, Bernard Martin, Irving Silberg, Barbara Goad, Robin Wendell Olson, Elizabeth Dunn, James Gordon Mokes, Paul Rogers, Michael Traxler, David Makiri, Susan Lynn, Leon Zendel, Carolyn Marshall, Amelia Lackey, Bernard Aronson, Martin Sanchez, Renee Potik, Ina Cantor. And on the anniversary of their passing, we remember our members: William Kramer, Agnes Herman, Aviva Kamen, Gwen Walden, Seymour Yak, and the loved ones of our members: Sila Almoslino, Laurel Ornery Bartlett, Millicent Cohen, Pearl Farber, Sylvia Fenster, Leslie Hagnon, Catherine Lambert, Lorraine Lerner, Gussie Rothman, Dorothy Schoenberg, Larry Zweig, William Korthoff, Aaron Maccabee, Christina Peterson, Bernard Peterson, Daryl Glenn Walter, Lorena Naaman Wellington, and all those we miss on these holy days who live in our hearts and our minds. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be for great blessing. The Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 122. Please rise if you're able. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon, v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'yamru, Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam le'almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha brichu. Le'ela mikol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'yamru, Amen. Yehei shlama Rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yamru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'yamru, Amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and comfort all who are bereaved. Amen. Please be seated. And as we do each Shabbat, each time we come together, we transition from moments of memory to what's in front of us and beyond, and to offer the many things that will be happening tomorrow and perhaps beyond. One of our High Holy Day co-chairs extraordinaire, Debbie Chanin.
Good evening, everyone, and once again, welcome and Gemar Hatima Tova, and may you have a good fast for the rest of Yom Kippur. I'd like to thank very much Rabbi Jillian and Cantor Rebecca and Janelle and our choir and our musicians and sound back there and lots of volunteers who've helped tonight. Thank you all very much. I also want to tell you that services start tomorrow at 10 a.m. and they will go till approximately 1, and then we will have a few breakouts at 1:45. I think we have visioning, and we also have a 12-step program and study with Rabbi Lisa, our esteemed Rabbi Emerita. And we will come back for afternoon service from 3 to 5, and then reading of the names and Yuskar service start at 5:45, and Nila at 6:30 with a community breakfast after that. So please come tomorrow and enjoy all the different services and activities during the day. Sunday, we're going to be building the sukkah at the BCC parking lot, and you're welcome to volunteer with us. And there will be some food and snacks to go along with that. But the following Friday, next Friday, we'll have pizza in the hut. We we have a tradition of pizza once a month at BCC before our Friday night services, and this time it's in the hut. So we also, the following Friday, we'll have Simchat Torah at BCC, and we're going to have some special guest speakers starting at 6 p.m. before our services. So please come out for that as well. We do have some flyers outside that you can pick up on the tables, and one other event that's coming up that we kind of want to get people to RSVP soon, planned by two of our members, my co-chair Jonathan Falk and Nicolasa here on sound, is a civil rights trail tour coming in late May. Sounds like a really fantastic tour in the South, and then ending in Washington, D.C. with the World Pride and the World Jewish Congress as well. So those are some great things to look forward to. Thank you so much.
We have so many wonderful volunteers, so many folks who are helping to make these holiest days happen, and we're so grateful for every person in our community. Again, if you are new and like to get more involved, to know more about us, please have a conversation with us throughout tonight and tomorrow. We'd love to welcome you more and tell you more about our community. But for now, we end with words of return, page 127. Ashivenu Adonai Elecha Venashuva Chadish Yameinu Kekedem. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return to what you are, return to who you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. Return to what you are, return to who you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. May you be inscribed and sealed for a good year. Shabbat Shalom, Shana Tova, Gamar Chatima Tova.